G'day everyone, Adam here going overland. We've got Larissa, Haley and Joe doing some schoolwork. This week's a bit of a special episode, a little bit different to the normal. We are going to go through some of our gear this week and some of our thought processes and some of the things we've learnt on the road. We've heard a lot of you guys are about to travel and good on you, thumbs up for you guys. Beautiful country, beautiful time to travel. So look, we're just going to throw some tips up there. Some ideas, some things that are working, some things that aren't, and anything that I might change in the future. So give us a thumbs up this week guys, really appreciate it. Hope you guys are enjoying our videos. It's a lot of effort. Every video is about 8 hours of editing. Yes, it's a lot of work. So thanks for everyone watching it. Thanks for giving us a thumbs up. It really does help spread our videos. And let's get into this week's video. So first up, I'm going to run through some of the gear that we've got and that I'm really happy with. All this gear, or most of it, we've purchased with our own hard-earned money. Let's start first with the dual coil hot water system. I paid for this. I bought the older model on purpose, and that's because you can solid mount the pump in. And I'll tell you what, it's been working good. We've had a few little issues of flaming out. And the way to get around that is you turn the pump off, let the system shut down and flick the pump back on. It takes about a second or two to do it. So one thing we've learned on the big lap is you have to be self-sufficient with power. If you're going to go to these remote places, these beautiful places where not a lot of people get to and really get to experience them, you cannot be relying on power points, especially how busy it is. It's very hard to book in a caravan park when you don't know you're going to be there. It's alright if you're doing a standalone trip there, no worries, you're booking your work holidays. But when you're on a lap of Australia, it's very difficult. You'll miss out on places where you want to spend more time if you're rushing to get to a powered site because you've got it booked in. How's our system been going? Fantastic. Last time we got power was at the very bottom of Western Australia. I think that was 2 months ago, maybe more. And yeah, we've got a budget set up. We don't have red arc and all that stuff. We've just got what we can afford and what's been working. So lead acid battery, deep cycle battery under the car, gets charged off a smart solenoid. It's not a BC to DC charger. Now I did have to run a second parallel line for that charger, and since then the system has been growing fantastic. So I think a lot of corrosion on the old line, possibly wasn't thick enough, but that's been going really well. So we're getting proper charge going into that battery. So once that was sorted out, really good. The trailer, it only gets charged off a solar panel on the roof. It doesn't get charged off the alternator. We have not had to charge that up pretty much the whole trip. We charged it once, it put 10 amps into it, and that was why we were actually charging one of the drill batteries. So that lithium battery, it's an iTech World 120 amp hour lithium battery, Victron MPPT solar regulator, and a 160 watt panel from Supercheap. That's the trailer. Now that runs all the lights, the shower water pump, the kitchen water pump. It runs the inverter when I'm doing all my editing. So we can be running for 4 to 8 hours a day sometimes. And every second night, sometimes every night, we plug the fridge into the trailer battery. Because it charges up so fast with the solar, it's not an issue. Lowest we've had it down to is 50%. And one good day or 2 good days of sunshine and it's back up at 100%. So I'm really happy with that iTech World battery, the Victron charger, and just the solar panel. We also have 2 solar panels that charge the car. One's a 100 watt panel. It's a portable panel. We can pull it off. We can chase the sun with it. And one's fixed to the front of the trailer where we plug it in and while we're traveling and parked up somewhere, that one's charging the deep cycle battery with a MPPT regulator from King's. Yeah, so far so good. The panel has warped, but it's still putting out good power and current, so no complaints with that yet. And for the price of it, mate, yeah, definitely not going to complain. So one tip for all you campers and hybrid owners and small caravan owners, make sure your setup is versatile and you can change it. So right now we are getting water from El Cuestro Homestead, and we're bringing it back in jerry cans. So we carry 2 jerry cans where we can fill up and bring back in the car. And our setup allows us to either draw water from the tank in the trailer or straight out of the jerry cans. So we've got different hoses we can quickly attach to run them from different places, and that makes it really versatile with our water supply. We also run 2 shower tents. So one's a pop-up one when we're sitting somewhere for a couple of days, or we've got the Ironman shower tent on the side of the car when we're traveling every day. When you're packing up and moving on every day, it's really handy. You just roll it up, doesn't matter if it's wet, you don't have to put it inside your trailer or inside the back of your car, and you're not getting water leaking out of it onto your gear. One of the really good investments we made was a little hand washing machine. This one here, Easy Wash. We got that from Snowy's, we paid for it. I made up a little metal frame for it to make it a lot more rugged. It's got a pressure cap on there. You just screw it on, spin it around for about 30 seconds to a minute, a couple of rinse cycles, and you're done. It allows us to do washing anywhere we are. If we can get creek water or tap water, we use it. It just allows us, when we roll into somewhere where there is a washing machine, we don't have 4 or 5 loads of washing. We might have 1 load of washing. It's not good for, if you have to do sheets and stuff, you can do 1 sheet at a time. It's too small for blankets or sleeping bags, but it is perfect when you're traveling. There's so many times we've had water available, we've had plenty of sunshine, do a quick load of washing, and it's dry by the end of the day. We don't have to sit around waiting for washing machines and dryers and all that in town if we don't have to. Now, the tyres we're running on the car, first time we've ever run them, BFG Goodrich all-terrains. They're 33 by 12.5 on a 15-inch rim. Really happy with them. They're a lot quieter than the mud tyres that we normally run. They're wearing quite well. They've done nearly 20,000 kilometres, I think. 1 puncture on the gib. So, don't know why it happened. It's only a small puncture, maybe a small sharp rock went through or something. Easy to plug it up and fix it. Really happy with them. They were a pretty good price too, and quiet on the road. They handle really well. Plenty of traction too. We've never had anywhere on our lap of Australia where we've been lacking traction. So really happy. Would I recommend them? Definitely. Will I get them again? Yep, definitely. So one thing that has let us down a lot is the power steering system. We got it rebuilt before we left. New hoses, new belts, new pump, new high pressure lines, all new fittings. And I won't mention the company I got them from because I've been in a bit of trouble for that. But we've had 2 hoses fail from them, and the second pump that we got from them under warranty is also leaking quite badly now. Really disappointing, really, you know, it's just frustrating. It's spraying oil up on everything. Give it a wash every 2 weeks or whenever we can, and it's just, yeah, it's, what do I say? So when we get home, I've got the old pump at home, the original one. I'm gonna get that rebuilt, install that, and throw this one in the garbage where it belongs. So one thing you definitely need when you're traveling around Australia is a toilet. We've got the Thetford 365. Really happy with it. We had a similar one unit before that. It lasted about 10 years before a couple of the seals started leaking. Bought a new one just for this trip because we knew how much we would be using it. And There's a lot of places you cannot stay at unless you've got a flushing toilet, a chemical toilet. So for the price of them, not much. I think 180 bucks maybe. It's definitely something you should have in your camper, in the back of your car, on your roof racks, somewhere. If you're going to do a lap of Australia, you won't regret it, especially if you've got kids. I've got another video up. Check it on our account, on our page. I go through the ins and outs of it, why it's so good, why we recommend it. Definitely something you need. So the camper, I had a few people comment, what sort of camper is that? What is that? It's a lifestyle breakaway, 2016 model. It was the last year it was made in Australia. It has cruise master suspension. It has the ability to hold up to 180 litres of water, DO35 hitch. We have got Cruise Master to make up some custom arms for it. Gives us a 2-inch lift, increases the track to match the patrol. How's it been going? Fantastic, love it. The ability to go down a track and have the confidence to be able to fit through a tight place, to be able to put the high lift jack under it and winch it around a corner or push it over. Really happy with it. Would I have done our trip with a bigger caravan? Definitely not. There's a lot of travelers out there with big caravans and they have a place and they are fantastic with what you can get and the amount they cost. But for where we wanted to go and what we wanted to see, it had to be a hybrid or a camper trailer. And we had a camper trailer, a lot of work, a lot of time setting up. The hybrid for us was the way to go. Lightweight, it's only 1,600 kilos fully loaded with food for 2 weeks, full of water, full of gas. All our clothes are in there, all our camping gear's in there, all our shower gear's in there. And it is very versatile. We can put different awnings on different sides. We can have the shower tent on the side of it. We've got the pull-out hot water system. So it is super versatile, super strong. Love it. It's a great design too. We've got a queen size mattress inside. There are bunk beds inside. We've got all inner spring mattresses. Lots of storage. Really happy with the trailer. So one other big ticket item is the fridge. We run the Waco 65 litre dual zone. How's it running? Good. It runs a lot at night time when it's hot. You do hear it and I've heard complaints about it, but we're making ample solar power to combat that, so it hasn't really been affecting us. There's the 4 of us. We get enough in there for 2 weeks. Plenty of room in the freezer. We don't put a lot of beer in there. We just top them up every morning, how many we drank out. So we might keep 6 in there. We'll have 3 litres of milk, cheese, yogurt for the kids. There's icy pies, there's plenty of frozen meat. We've got a little ice tray in there. So yeah, really happy with it. Extra items that I've learnt from on the road that you need to bring. Bring some quality spare Anderson plugs. Do not get the cheap ones off eBay. There is a big difference between the ones you're paying $5 to $10 for and the ones where you're paying $10 for a pack of 10. The plastic is not the same. They will break very easily. You won't get your proper charge from your solar system. You won't get proper power going into your batteries. So bring spare ones and use the good quality ones. And what a difference it's made. I have run through all my cheap ones. They've all broken. We had 5 spare Anderson plugs and I've used them all up already. So spare Anderson plugs. 10 pegs. We brought some screw pegs. Haven't really used them. We used them once. Look, if the ground's so hard you can't get a peg into it, the screw pegs, I don't know. But look, don't buy the cheap pegs. Get the super pegs. They are so much stronger. They're so much easier to use. They do not bend the way the cheap pegs do. Recovery boards, definitely. We use them to level up the trailer. If we get stuck somewhere, we can use them. Haven't used them a hell of a lot, but they are so good to have with us. Just a confidence booster. One thing we took a lot of time to work out was the roof rack setup on this. We wanted the side awning, the rear awning for the fridge. We wanted the shower tent on the car, a lot easier than mounting it to the trailer, and we've got a change room wherever we go. We wanted the recovery boards. We've also got a solar panel on the front as well. But then on top, we didn't know what we were gonna do. We're gonna get those big grey storage boxes for our wet gear. Not very aerodynamic. So look, it took a lot of time before I thought about and considered the roof bag. We just got one from King's. It's the waterproof one. Not very dear, under $100. So it's sort of almost a throwaway item after this trip if it's worn out. But tell you what, after 4 months of the thickest dust, heaviest rain, constantly being used, it has been fantastic.
Yep.
All our wet aquatic sort of gear goes in there. We've got 2 double inflatable kayaks, all the paddles, all the life jackets, our reef shoes go in there, our snorkeling gear, the kids have extra inflatables. There is a heck of a lot in there. There's a spare inner tube for the tyres in there. There's some spare rope. And I tell you what, it's aerodynamic. It is fast to throwing up. Zip it up. Strap it on.
Fishing nets.
There's fishing nets in there. It has been...
We dry everything out before we put it up there.
Yeah.
Like as much as we can. And then if it's not quite, we'll open it up and get it out back at camp and dry it out more.
It's been
brilliant.
So handy.
Yeah.
Just to be able to throw everything up there. And
there's actually more space in there.
There is plenty of space. And then
the kids' wetsuits now live up there. We bought them
wetsuits
from an op shop.
And the reason why we wanted it with the car, as opposed to storing that stuff in your camper, when you're out camp somewhere, you then have to put it in your car when you drive to the beach. We have that stuff with the car, so wherever we go,
it's with us.
It's with us. If we Tunnel Creek, we drove down Tunnel Creek and we thought, oh,
the rock shoes
the rock shoes were there, and a life jacket for Joe for the deeper section. So really happy with that choice. One thing we should talk about before we forget is the clothes. How much clothes to take on a big lap?
Not much.
Look, you don't need as much as you think, because if you take that much clothes, you're gonna have to be washing it. So you probably see me wearing the same shirt a lot. Look, sometimes I'll wash a shirt at night, hang it up, in the morning it's dry. Sometimes I just wear a dirty shirt for 3 or 4 days. It just depends on how much I'm sweating, I suppose. Look, we've been living out of a drawer each. We've got, under the bed, we've got 2 big grey storage boxes, the dustproof ones, full of clothes. We haven't touched. We haven't needed to, because if we were to get those clothes out, we would have so much dirty clothes, we would be stuck for 3 or 4 days washing everything. So basically, we've just been living out of a drawer each. So, same size drawer as your bedside tables, just those little narrow ones. And it's more than enough. We probably have maybe 5 to 10 pairs of underwear in each, 3 or 4 shirts, 2 or 3 pairs of shorts, your socks, and that's about it. A jumper, a jacket, pair of jeans, maybe some thermals for the colder months. And me and Larissa have our dryzer bones under the bed. But you don't need as much as you think. So just, be careful of how much clothes you bring. You can always ship it home. You can always buy more. So don't panic too much about your clothes. So one more thing I want to say to all you people considering a big lap or a big trip and traveling, and this is mainly the hybrid small camper trailers, small caravan owners, not the big guys. Look, you'll love a big lap of Australia, but choose wisely where you want to see and what you want to do. There's some rough places that you can get to and really remote, and they are hard work and they are hard on your gear. This trip has been harder than I ever thought, more challenging, more breakages than any other trip we've done, but it's also been more rewarding, more fulfilling. Just blowing my mind with what we've seen and where we've been. So look, don't take our bad experiences and think that that's how your trip's going to be. We've been to some pretty rough places. The Fink track, the Mitchell Falls track, Yardie Creek Road. Look, a lot of those places you don't have to do. They are rewarding, but they are tough on your gear. Look, just get out there, do your planning, do your research, make your trip your own, and make your gear, you know, and your trip match. You know, don't be taking big caravans where they shouldn't go. Don't take a small caravan on a huge trip with a big family, you know. So look, you'll know your gear, you'll know what you can do with it, and best of all, just go out there and have fun. Time is the biggest issue. It can really stress you out, the time. Like how much time you lose doing schoolwork, doing shopping, finding water, finding a toilet dump point. That can be a real stressful thing, especially if you've got to do a certain amount of kilometers to get your next campsite.
18.
No.
So look, I don't know how the best plan around that. For us, we just have days where we're stressed and a bit cranky because we're pushing. But then you've got to have in your time budget days where you can sit, relax, unwind, and chill out. All right, guys, I hope this has helped a bit. I don't know if it is or I'm just rambling on. Yeah, hopefully I can help you guys out planning your big trip or a big lap. Hit us up in the comments if I've missed something or there's something you want to know more about. Only too happy to help. All right, guys, get off the couch, give us a thumbs up first, get a pen and paper, write some notes down, and then get out there and explore Australia. It is a beautiful country.